What does it mean to not cross the red line? Let's take a closer look. The Israeli-Hamas conflict in Rafah began to escalate in October 2023. The humanitarian situation in Gaza deteriorated rapidly and the death toll rose alarmingly. The U.S. found itself in a precarious position, struggling to evacuate its citizens in the face of Hamas's demands. As the situation worsened, calls for an end to the violence were heard around the world. The stage was set, but the final outcome remained unclear. Fast forward to May 2024. The attack on Rafah occurred, but it did not cross a red line. It was a deadly attack that sparked global condemnation, but according to the White House, Israel did not cross the red line set by President Biden. The world was horrified, but the government stood firm. In the midst of the chaos, the United Nations stepped in and called on Israel to stop the attacks. A resolution for a ceasefire was emerging and awaiting a vote by the Security Council. But Israel had its own proposal for a sustainable peace that would suspend the conflict but not end it completely. Meanwhile, the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, launched an investigation into the airstrike that killed civilians. Conflicting reports about the cause of the fire added to the confusion. The United States faced increasing pressure to act amid comparisons with previous red line warning in international conflicts. But despite international outcry and the unfolding humanitarian crisis, the red line remained intact. The world took notice, but the red line remained. If the red line remains unbroken, what does it mean for the United States and its international relations? The White House maintains that, despite global protests and devastating airstrikes, the actions in Rafah have not exceeded the limits set by President Biden. In a world where previous red lines have drawn significant military and diplomatic responses, the current U.S. posture has raised eyebrows. The situation has put the government under scrutiny, with the international community watching closely and waiting for decisive action. As the chaos in Rafah subsides, the impact of this red line continues to ripple around the world. From world affairs to breaking news, your daily dose of news has you covered. Subscribe for a well-rounded news experience.